Hello. Oh my goodness. I'm really trying to make a video. Ha! Okay, what I was going to do, because I dug out some cards, and this one, I just really need to do this. This is the Navigators Tarot of the Mystic Sea, and, oh, my name's Melissa. And, anyway, here we are. So, and I'm in a weird place right now, because I don't have a stationary place to put my camera. But I was going to kind of do a flip through of these cards. Comes in a crappy little box, like, you know what those are all about. And it does have a little book. These are actually like based on the Golden Dawn type. So, which I know Thoth is a breakaway from the Golden Dawn, but I always feel they're more like Thoth based, and that's just my story, and I'm sticking to it. And so what I was going to do is, first of all, I'll show you the size. And the cardstock is just decent. I don't even know who made it. It's a U.S. Games. It's a U.S. Games product. So, anyway, they got them split up, like, because it's still in order. So they got the court cards separated out from the majors and the minors. And just to give you an idea of the size, yeah, I'm in a bathroom, but, what are you going to do? This is like a Llewellyn card, which, they're kind of big. So, in comparison, sorry, I knew one handle was going to be a problem. So, in comparison to Llewellyn, they're smaller, but they're bigger than, this is the Centennial Rider-Waite. They're shorter, but they're the same width. So they actually almost like playing card size. So they're easy to hold. Yeah, easy to hold. So anyway, let me start by reading. This is the backs of the card, which I think are just dynamite. They're just nice. I like that. It's the Tree of Life, and I'm probably holding it upside down, but the tree is actually, you actually do the tree backwards anyway. So, but anyway, it has some interesting things to say about this. This looks like a couple of poems, which I'm not going to read, but there was something in this little white book in the beginning that I thought was really interesting. It's really a lot to read, and I really don't, I'm trial and error on this video. I've never done it live from my phone. So it tells a bit about, it's based on a traditional, it says traditional Golden Dawn foundation, which, foundation, that's what that doesn't really say a lot. It's just the foundation of the Hermetic Kabbalah. The glyph, which is, that's the glyph of the Kabbalah. So it's a system enabling us to understand our inner energies, as known as the Tree of Life, is known as the Tree of Life. The illustration on the back of this deck displays the glyph, blah, blah, between the spheres, which are centers of psychic activity, run the 22 paths of the major arcana for the tarot. I really don't want to read this all to you guys, but just to give you a little background on the deck, because the artwork is, it's very neo. I don't know. It's really cool. I resonated with it right away. As soon as I saw it on Sacred Seeds channel, I went straight away to eBay to pick me up one. So, but it just has an interesting thing to say about the major arcana cards are the highest, most profound in the deck, and symbolize powerful archetypes at work in the psyche, influencing a person's choices and attitudes, often unknowingly, which I thought was really key, because we're all like looking for something when we're going into our decks, right? So, and the shadow work, I mean, I don't use this deck for that though. Getting to know these archetypes can be achieved by the method of the web spread, which is in this back of this book. It looks pretty cool, but I'd have to read about how to do it and all that. And it's described, it says, or simply by meditating on a single selected card, which I have done that when I first got the deck. I did that a lot. The sequence of these potent cards has never been adamantly fixed, and in fact is known to be incorrect. The version This version is merely an attempt to place them in their correct positions. Readers who have the book associated with the Navigators Tarot, I tried to find that book, but it was expensive a long time ago, will find interesting revelations about these cards. In the Navigators Tarot, the major arcana cards may be used in their traditional order and numbering, or may be employed in their contemporary revised positions. But with that being said, I'm not going to read no more. So it is a little bit different. I'll give you, if I can do this with one hand without making everybody hold their barf bags, I'll give it my best shot. So, let's see where we're going to start. Oh, and I had, I bought out my Tabula Mundi because the titles of these cards, they're not numbered, okay? And it had a different order, sort of like compared to Rider-Waite-Smith, or I'm just going to call it Waite-Smith. But anyhow, the cards aren't numbered. They have the name of the card at the bottom. But then, interesting, they have a keyword on every card, which is pretty unique. So it's a keyword that I haven't seen on a lot of decks. But like I said, Foundation from the Golden Dawn. And I'm saying that. So, but anyhow, there's the full card. I wanted to try to do both like at the same time. So let me see if I can make space. So we got the full card from that one, and then here's the Tabula Mundi. So you see a lot of similar stuff here, right? I'm just saying, like the spiral of the Fool's going down that little wormhole, and he's got all these creatures of magic with him, and the same thing with this guy, but he's like more on a little surfboard going, and there's the whale with the shadow guy standing right up there on his thing. Look at his little third eye thing there. I don't know how far my phone let me get, but it's pretty cool. So anyway, and I just love to compare stuff. So anyway, so there's the Magician. We'll do it kind of quickly, just give you insight into the cards. They are lovely cards, truly. There's a lot of different color. They just snagged they snagged me right away. I'm like, I didn't even finish her video before I had to go get me a deck. I did watch the whole video. I just had to pause it while I went and bought the deck. And I've had these for a good long while, and I did when I first got them. I used to just take one card and I'd sit there mesmerized with it for so long. This was so cool. I mean, look at the Lover's card. It's just, I don't know, just freaking cool. Look at this. Look at that gal up there saying, oh, it's like so neat. Okay. The Chariot. They got that as strength, and the strength is called omnipotence. I should have been doing it slower and reading the keywords at the top, because I thought it was cool, because Chariot, they denoted with conclusion. And to me, I get like mastery. Chariot, to me, I feel like I'm mastering my will. Like learning to harness my own fire with all the elements. I know, I see you, honey. Do you want to play cards? So, and then, of course, they call it lust, not strength. And there's good reasoning behind that as well. Hermit is exaltation, which is a little weird to me. Fortune, rotation, which, yeah, that makes total sense. No-brainer. Destiny, here for the adjustment card. Or temperance, and right away would be temperance. So justice, equilibrium. So, okay. Suspension for the Hangman, which I thought was cool. Inversion, which that doesn't really, big deal. So I'm upside down. Death, transformation. Love that death card. Love it. Art. Devil's pretty bizarro. Pretty, pretty, pretty wild. The Tower. Tower is quite, the symbology is quite different here, and I wish I'm gonna have to get the book, but I couldn't afford it back when I saw it before. Star, Revelation, Moon, we have gratification. Sun, of course, we have organization, which is a really weird sun card to me, because that don't look very organized. I love this sun card. Holy moly. Oh my goodness. And then the Eon card, which is realization. I love this one the best. But this is good. It just looks like he's thinking about it to me. Then the Universe, which I think is really a pretty card. All right, I'm not really going to go through all the minors. I would, but I don't want this video to be forever long, and I am doing it from my iPhone. But gosh, I sure would like to. So let me flip a few of them. Y'all can always pause it and go get something to eat while I'm doing this, or whatever. So here we go. We get back on the, okay, we got the Ace of Pentacles, and it's called disc. You know, we got in the Tabula Mundi, it's disc, and over here we got Pentacles. So he's flinging his little pentacle frisbee there. Oh, and they have keywords, which I thought was cool too. So the Ace of Disc here, or Pentacles, is generation. The 2 is permutation. These keywords in the minors they really have a lot of weight. They really have a lot of gravity with me when I was looking through the deck when I first got it. It says permutation. This one's change. The 3 of Pentacles, foundation, and here we have work, which I see that. I see that in both. So 4 of Pentacles, we have authority, and then over here we have power, which I like power better, because if you have power, you're going to have some authority, right? But if you have authority, doesn't necessarily mean you have any power, because so what, you know? Okay, so then we've got adversity with the 5 of Pentacles, and then we have worry with the 5 of Discs on Tabula Mundi side. The 6 is compensation, and over here we have success. Okay, the 7 is variance. It's neat that they have such weird colored people too. I like that. You know, it's just outside of the box. I really like that. And then the 7 here, we have failure. So there's a big difference. 8, we have economy. What's the matter, honey? This is like my all-time favorite 8 of Discs right here, the Prudence card. This card came up to me so many times. I was using the Tabula Mundi and the Rosetta Papyrus edition for my daily pulls, like right before my mom passed, in April 1st. And this card came up sometimes twice a week for me. And court cards, every day I would draw a court card. I think almost every day I did. So, acquisition, back on the 9 there. And the 9 of, I love this, 9 of discs is gain. Look at those worker bees. Oh, and I love that. Look at the hand there. The symbols. It's just the symbol. I can't go into all that. It's too much. Good study deck, though. Affluence for the that 10. And then this one is wealth. And now we move on to the swords. We have the ace is respiration. And, of course, on Tabula Mundi side, it's the root of the powers of air, which that's a big title, and I like it. 2 of swords, concurrence, peace. 3 of swords, desolation, and here we have sorrow, which yeah, speaks to me a lot louder than desolation. Recuperation for the 4. We have truce on the Tableau Mundi side, which this deck, I mean, I can't fault this. I'm sorry. This is like my take it and put it in my grave with me deck. So, oh, that would be a good tarot tag, but I know it's been done 1,000 times, right? But not really. I mean, there's got to be one you would want to have in the grave with you, or in your urn when you get cremated. Okay. Diverge. Destruction. Defeat. Sorry. Ascendancy. I probably don't need to read all these, huh? Y'all can probably just look at them. Science. But it helps me too. Except I can hardly see it. Ambivalence. I love that. Ambivalence. Yeah, and futility. Love that better. So the 8 of Swords. Curtailment. That's kind of a fancy word for interference. 9 of Swords. Desperation. I like that. And I also love this. Cruelty. Because we're so cruel to ourselves sometimes, are we not? I know I've been cruel to myself a lot. Okay. Destitution, which this card makes me very sad. Makes me feel sad. And this card came up for me tons. Just here recently. Ruin. But I love that. Look at that. Look at that egg. Look at that. Okay, the Ace of Cups. Immersion. Pretty card. The Root of the Power of Water. 2 of Cups. Harmony. That's lovely. Kind of plain, though. This here's the love card. I'm loving that. Look at that. How can you not love that? Don't answer that if you don't love it. Okay, 3 of Cups. Abundance. And we have an agreement. Abundance. But I like the purple and the black. And I love that hand sticking out of the... I love all the hands sticking out of all the things. The wheat, the pomegranate. I'm thinking that's an orange, but I'm not positive. Okay, and then we have discontent for the 4. That's pretty interesting. And then we have, what? Discontent. And then we have luxury. Oh, that's, wow, that goes way the other way, doesn't it? Coursing away. I don't know. All right. Dissipation. And then disappointment. This card always spooks me when I see it. It looks like 2 big boobies. Just, I don't know. It's just weird. I know it's not boobies, but it looks like boobies to me. And it looks like they're really getting sunburnt. Okay, we have the felicity, which that word confuses me just a little bit. I mean, I get it, but not on this picture. And then pleasure. 7 of Cups. Delusion. Not quite getting delusion here. Yeah, I am. Okay, I get it. So delusion and debauch, which that's a really ugly word, but I get that too. Sort of. Okay, seclusion for the 8 of Cups. And then we have indolence. I love that. Okay. Satiety. If I never feel like I'm saying that word right. And then happiness. Because he looks like he's over-satisfied or over-satiated to me. I mean, satiety or... satiety? Satiety? It's a difficult word for Melissa to say. He looks like he kind of overdid things. Whereas happiness, to me, that doesn't look like you overdid it. It just looks like, yay, we have everything. So, kind of a stretch there between a big difference. Ten of Cups, accomplishment. What are those little black cups? They're so dang cute. Those little cup balloon things. Okay, so the Ten of Cups, accomplishment. And then see here we have satiety, which means, being satisfied. And I don't think it's like overdone. So that's interesting that the Nine of Cups on the Navigators Tarot is different strokes for different folks. And then the Ace of Wands, stimulation. Totally, yes. The Root of the Powers of Fire. I freaking love this card. This card makes me feel like I'm standing right at the bottom of that tree and looking straight up at it. I am not kidding you. In person, this card will blow your mind because it's so three-dimensional when you're holding it. It's bizarre. Dominion, and then Dominion. Sorry about the glare. I'm in the bathroom. Three of Wands. Oh, he's roasting that big purple egg. Cohesion. Maybe he's trying to melt it. And then Virtue. Delight is the Four of Wands. Completion. Contention is the Five. I always get... I don't know. I guess contention would be there, but I get that more as like a strife card or upset about stuff. Yeah, here we go. That is strife. Triumph is the Six of Wands. And then we have Victory, which is so pretty. Of course, that one's pretty too. The Seven of Wands is Fortitude. And then we have Valor. Ooh, I love it. Okay, the Eight of Wands, we have Velocity, which is really kind of cool here. Velocity. And Swiftness. I sort of like that Velocity. Okay, 9 is Intensity, which that doesn't look that intense to me. And then here we have Strength, which that definitely looks intense to me. And the Ten of Wands, Oppression, which to me, that's what the Ten of Wands stands for, oppression. I mean, burden, you got to think a burden is like you're oppressed if you're burdened, but oppression is different, stronger, I think, than burdened. And there's the oppression. And I love what she says about this in the book, in her book. I don't know if it's the book M or which book it is. Book T, maybe. I don't know. Don't remember. But I'm not going to go through the, I promise, because it's 23 minutes. So all the court cards, I'll just flip through there. I'm not going to compare them. But she has names on all of these, or he. I don't know who actually did this deck, honestly, because the box didn't say nothing about it. It just... it was 3. Yeah, it's just gotta look it up. All right, so we'll go through here we go. And they call it their pages here, whereas in hers, they're princess. It starts with it goes princess, knight. Knights are always on horses, and then the queens, and then the prince is the king. Prince is the ruler guy. That's how it goes in Tabula Mundi. And so in the Navigator, we have the Page of Pentacles as reservation. Yeah, reservation. Evolution for the Knight. Persuasion for the Queen of Pentacles. I like these keywords. I think they're really cool. Motivation, just to have one word like that on a card. I guess, you could trim it all off after you got familiar with it, but these keywords on this deck actually helped me to sink into the card better. And this was when I first got them. Now, if I just looked at them, I might go a different way with it, but like the Page of Swords, is decomposition. I ain't getting that. Decomposition? I mean, why? I don't get, because when I think of decomposition, I'm thinking of like something that's rotting. But that's just me. So sometimes the words can definitely get in the way. Penetration. Yikes. He dropped his sword, so how can he penetrate something? All right, and the queen is subversion. The king is purification. Then we got the cups. We got the pages. Reduction. Ooh, he's kicking his heels up. Conviction. And the queen, I like this queen. Fascination. That's pretty cool. The king of cups. Transition. Then the page of wands. That's a dang big word. Equivocation. It's not that big when you say it, but looking at it looked big. I like that card. Okay, so Knight of Wands. Affiliation? Yeah. Sorry, but my glasses are slipping off my face. A lot of these Knight cards, the horse looks like they're either just finished jumping over something or they're just kicking their heels up, being frisky. Regeneration is the Queen of Wands. Love that. And the king, restriction. So he is the boss. So anyway, that's the deck, as fast as I could do it. Hated to make a half-an-hour video on my first time at trying to do this, but my setup is, I don't have a setup. Look at this tiny little spirit crystal. It's so tiny. Isn't that pretty? Sorry about my dirty fingernails, but I was digging in the garden before I came in here. They're really a mess. All right, guys. Thank you so much for giving me the confidence to start trying to do stuff. I'm going to try to share stuff that's not that sought after like this one. But I tell you what, honestly, it's not expensive. I guess you could get it from US Games, but I tend to check prices on eBay and Amazon before I go to the manufacturer's website. It's just, you can find a used one in really good shape and probably get it for, I don't know, anywhere, maybe $10, maybe less, maybe a little bit more. And it comes with the little white book actually has a lot of beef in it, because I didn't read the whole thing because I didn't need to. But like, for example, besides just giving some keywords, sensitive and romantic, it tells a bit about, like, says, we are often too busy in judging others and must realize that everyone sees the world in a different light. Thus, we must give others the space to voice their convictions and encourage their points of view. I mean, this deck, I'm telling you, people, I don't know why everybody doesn't want it, or maybe because they just don't know about it. Because the little book, and there is a big book you can get, but when I tried to get it, it was expensive, and I couldn't bite the bullet on it. But after, doing this video, I might have to go take another look. At any rate, it's definitely got more than just your plain little blob of, keywords, because it comes from a place that the creator of the deck, like I said, based off the foundations of the Golden Dawn. It's not a true Golden Dawn or anything like that. And it's definitely, it ain't a Rider-Waite Smith, but, and it ain't strictly Thoth either. So it's just good. And if you're going to do some shadow work or some working on just being, I need to work on being a nicer person to myself. And that's what it's about for me. Trying to learn to be kinder to myself. Thank you, guys. Appreciate you. Love y'all. Bye-bye.